All right, so we just got through 3 weeks. The round of 12 is over. We have made the round of eight. There is the list right there, and obviously it's a lot different than what I had in my round of eight predictions. So let's just go through the round of eight predictions, the round of eight results real quick. Who's in there? It's Kyle Busch, Mark Jr., Dane Hamlin, Joey Logano, Kevin Hart, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, and Ryan Blaney. I got six of those eight correct. However, the problem is, if you look at this, Brad Keselowski is out, and he was one of my Championship 4 drivers. I actually have him in my Championship 4 drivers. You won't see him here. You'll see him in 3 weeks in my predictions. And I was not expecting the last spot in the round to come down to Chase Elliott and Brad Keselowski. And then Joe Logano was in there at the last minute just trying to fight for his own playoff hopes, and he was able to make it at the end there, but that was real difficult. So I want to recap the round 12 real quick. So Dover, man, that was a rough start for Chase Elliott. It was and Joe Logano too at the same time. Like Logano couldn't even start the race with the rest of the field because he had a problem. He had to go to the garage before the race even started. And then Chase Elliott, like what, 8 laps in, blows up, has a problem, and is out for the rest of the race. That was devastating considering the week before Dover he won the Roval, so he had all of them going for him, and it just sucked it right out the window. It was a snap of a finger. It was ridiculous. So that was really devastating. And then we had a couple surprise winners. I didn't think Kyle Larson was going to be that strong at Dover at the end there. He won and pretty much locked up a spot in round of eight, the first spot in round of eight. That was pretty amazing to watch. And then we go to the next week, the unpredictable Talladega. That was that was crazy. I mean, obviously it started off with the Hendricks cars just dominating that race, and then Alex Bowman wrecks out. Chase Elliott has a lot of problems. William Byron has problems. Cliff Bowyer is just struggling to get anything good going. He finished decently, but he had to gain a lot of ground for Kansas. And then out of nowhere, it comes down to Ryan Newman versus Ryan Blaney, the Ryan battle, and Blaney punches his ticket to round of eight by 7/1000ths of a second. That shook up the playoff grid immensely in a way that I can't even comprehend because if Blaney had not won, the points battle would have been a lot tighter for the guys below the cut line. But instead, Chase Elliott's 18 back, I think. No, that was Bowman. I'm sorry. Actually, no, but it doesn't matter. The four guys below the cut line were like 18 plus points back, and so Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, William Byron, Clipboard, they're all at least 18 points back going into Kansas. So they all need to get a bunch of stage points and then finish really well in the race. Just didn't have a shot at that. It didn't start off well for Alex Bowman. He had a lot of problems. He couldn't get any stage points. That he was the only playoff driver that wasn't trying to lock himself into the next round. That didn't get any stage points in Kansas. That was devastating for him. So he basically was in a must-win situation at that point. Mark Jr., Dane Hamlin, they locked themselves in on points in the first two stages. So that was good enough for them. Logano and Harvick and Kyle Busch, they could just finish decently and then make it to the next round no matter what. Logano was looking pretty good for a while, and then all of a sudden everything went horribly for Team Penske. It seemed like everything was looking dandy, and then the guy that locked himself in the next round, Ryan Blaney, just made it all pretty much fall off a cliff at that point because it's like 15 laps to go. He blows a right rear tire, then a bunch of tire car debris just falls onto the racetrack that forced NASCAR ran its caution 15 laps to go. And it is insane. So at this moment, you're thinking, okay, so Chase Elliott needs to finish within 14, at least 14 spots ahead of Brad Keselowski. And Keselowski was struggling with his car all day. It came down to those two drivers at that point, unless someone else below the cut line, Cliff Bowyer, Alex Bowman, or William Byron had won the race. So that was pretty much it. And at the time, Brad Keselowski was locked down with that caution, so he had to take a wave around while the rest of the leaders paid for four fresh tires. So Keselowski was kind of in a no-win situation here until another caution came out because Bubba Wallace lost a left rear tire. The tire completely came off, hubotash and everything. That was how do you explain it? The last 15 laps are just absolute chaos. It's chaotic. It's unbelievable. It's something you can't script. A lot like a lot like this little review thing I got going here. So yeah, but as it stands, Keselowski get fresh tires. He looked like he was gonna be destined for the next round unless Chase Elliott won that race. Until the caution came out again, a couple laps on the first overtime attempt. The caution came out because Suarez, Hamrick, Kozlowski, they all kind of wrecked. Logano got caught up in it, so he was not looking too good at points. But the damage was not severe enough that the team 22 team couldn't fix it and get him back out there and gain some points and make sure he was locked in the next round. However, Kozlowski's car did get damaged enough that he dropped back and lost a bunch of spots on the final restart. On the final restart, Chase Elliott and Brett Keselowski were tied on points. Tied, I tell you. And that was one of those things that you just cannot script whatsoever. And Keselowski just dropped back so many spots. It was enough to say, well, Chase Elliott is moving on to the round of 8. I really wish it didn't come down to those two because I had Keselowski and Elliott in my final 4. Now I'm only going to get up to 3 out of the 4 right in the championship 4 predictions. I still think Hamlin winning it all because he won the race at Kansas, and he's got all of them going his way now. I feel like, and with Martinsville up next, his best racetrack, his favorite racetrack, one of his hometown tracks. It is gonna be a day that Danny Hamlin is gonna either love or loathe because he's just he's gonna love it or he's gonna hate it. Really, it's because he is so good at that track. I know he has won there since 2015, but. So he's due. He's definitely due for a win there. I can see him winning it, and moving and locking himself in the championship 4 in Miami already on Sunday. So that'd be interesting. That'd be awesome if he does that. I think it's gonna happen because he's that good. However, his competition might be Chase Elliott and Joey Logano and Martin Truex Jr. I don't think Kevin Harvick is gonna be that big of a factor, but there's 5 drivers on this list here and this round of 8 that could easily win this race. So, Truex obviously had a shot in this race, Martinsville race last year. Got screwed out by Joey Logano. Joey Logano definitely is a great driver here at Martinsville. As we saw, he won the race, obviously, but it might have been a little bit. It might have been a little dirty, but if you're racing for a spot in Homestead, you want to race for a spot in Homestead, you're gonna do whatever it takes without crossing the line of doing too much just to make it there. So he could. So I don't think Logano's gonna do the same thing again, but he could, and he might get crap for it. But that's just, I guess, the way Logano races sometimes. You're gonna have to in this playoff format. It's hard to do that. So anyway, yeah. So Logano has got a good shot. Elliott's got a good shot. He has been so close so many times already. Kyle Busch definitely has a shot. He has a couple Martinsville clocks. So there you go. So Kyle Busch, Truex, Hamlin, Logano, and Elliott, they all have good shots to win Martinsville. They're definitely the favorites. So, while as for Larson, that's his kryptonite. He has never run good at Martinsville. I've never seen him run very good at Martinsville ever. So he might have had a lucky good finish at Martinsville in 2016, but that was off a late caution or he had to make a split decision. So that's not really that's not really saying much. Because in recent memory, that's the only good finish he's had at Martinsville, I think. So as for Harvick and Blade, they're gonna be mid pack between Larson and those other 5 drivers in round of 8. So that's my thought. Okay, so moving on, Texas. I think that's gonna be a big battle between Truex and Kevin Harvick again, in my opinion, because they battled hard a couple times. They battled hard in 2017 for a win and locked himself in Homestead. They both locked in 2017 because Harvick won the race and then Truex on points. So that was good to see. Harvick has won this fall Texas race 2 years in a row, I believe. Yeah, technically he didn't win. He technically won last year, but his win got taken away from him, so he still had to try to lock himself in at ISM. But yeah, I mean he's definitely one of the odds-on favorites for this race just because of how good he's done at this fall Texas race in recent memory. And then Ryan Blaney, I think he's still got a good shot at it too. He's led a lot of laps. I think he likes this track a lot too. So don't be surprised if he's running up near the front this race. Chase Elliott, he could do a little bit better, but I think he's there. Hamlin may have won this race at Texas the last time they were there in the season. But that was like off like a bunch of weird strategies, so I don't think he's going to be that big of a factor. Um, Logano, Kyle Busch. Logano's like kind of decent there, but it's gonna be tough for him. Like I think it make it work. So he's gonna have good points in Martinsville anyway. Kyle Busch, I think he just cruised to a good finish at Texas and locked himself in at that point. So that's pretty good. Um, and so I think I mentioned and then Larson. I don't think it's like it's we say Martinsville is kryptonite, and then Texas. I think it's like kind of middle of the road for him. He's got to find a way to get something out of it, just to give himself a shot at ISM Raceway to lock himself in a place and not try to be like must win situation there. I mean, and transitioning to ISM, like uh, there is no doubt that Kyle Busch is the odds-on favorite. Ever since they made the ever since they switched the start finish line from the what is now the backstretch to like where the rest of the dog leg is, Kyle Busch has won both times. How do you beat that? You can't. So you can't beat him. You probably can't beat Harvick either. So that's gonna be very difficult. As for the rest of the field, good luck. You're gonna probably have to try to play your way into the championship four at that point. So, yeah, that's gonna be especially if like two of those spots are already locked in on wins in the at Martinsville, Texas. You're gonna be really desperate to make up points because you know you're not gonna beat Kyle Busch or Kevin Harvick. Kyle Busch is probably gonna do really well in that race, and so is Kevin Harvick. Uh, and then behind them are probably gonna be like Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney fighting for spots. Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson, I think, has to win that race just to make a championship for, in my opinion. While it's like Truex, Logano, Hamlin, they're probably gonna be battling each other for points as well. I don't know if Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney, they're probably gonna be fighting for a win. While Truex, Hamlin, Logano, if they're not locked in on the win, they're probably gonna point battle. So that's just my thought process behind everything. So yeah, that's it. That's what I'm predicting in the round of eight now. Now if we've made it here, and I said my predictions this year haven't been as good as they have been in recent memory, but as you can see right here, that was what I had in predictions. But as for what we've got for round of eight, I mean, I got six of the eight right. I was praying for Chase Elliott to make it. I was really hoping for it to, as a Chase Elliott fan. Honestly, I'm not trying to be biased here. I just wanted him to make it. I thought he might have a chance to win. He looked like he had a good car all day, and he got away. Mary Mills almost got just the win to lock him in automatically, but that's all right. I really think he can make a championship for along with Danny Hamlin. So that's just my thought process behind it. Um, yeah, it's gonna be a really easy. It's gonna be really uh, interesting to see how this goes, especially when you have three JGR cars left at the top of the standing, still fighting each other just to make the championship four. One of those guys might not even make it. You never know because someone could like get a miraculous win and knock one of those three out. So that's gonna be interesting to see. Like realistically, what realistically, even one of those guys might not make it because they've accumulated so many playoff points. They might not. They could just like cruise. But in any case, we're gonna see how it goes, and in 3 weeks I will review our championship four and who's gonna win Miami. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one, and leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that bell for the notification 3 weeks about when I post that final video to see like who's in the championship four and who's gonna win at Miami and who's gonna win the championship. I'll see y'all then. Take care. Bye bye.